Welcome to What's Trending. I'm Cheryl Lazar. On the show today, we have actor Jamie Kennedy and the totally rad Alex Albrecht. We'll sit down with Adam Carolla to hear his big announcement. And from songs to wear pants to, Andrew Huang is here for a live in-studio performance. To interact with others watching the show, head over to our room on chill.com. And do not forget to go to getglue.com right now and check in to earn exclusive stickers. It's the 1st of November, and here's what's trending now. Remember, the 5th of November, Bank Transfer Day is scheduled for this Saturday. The movement, started by a 27-year-old named Kristen Christian, encourages people to close their bank accounts and move their money to a credit union by November 5th. Currently, Bank Transfer Day has over 32,000 likes on Facebook and more than 50,000 people committed to participate. Bank Transfer Day has also started the support of the cyber activists Anonymous, who are trending due to a very public hostage negotiation. The group are threatening to release the identities and addresses of people associated with the violent Zeta drug cartel in Mexico if an anonymous member who was allegedly kidnapped is not released. To date, the member has not been released, and the anonymous deadline is, as you might guess, November 5th. Last Friday, Google announced the 100 partners for the new original programming channels on YouTube. The list included celebrities such as Ashton Kutcher, Jay-Z, Madonna, and Shaquille O'Neal. In a moment, we'll discuss if this was a good move and how it might impact the online video landscape and the overall future of entertainment. It seems like just yesterday that Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries were happily walking down the aisle, convinced they'd be spending the rest of their lives together. Who knew forever would actually mean 72 days? Well, no love is eternal, and news of their divorce blew up on Twitter yesterday with over 500,000 tweets. That's 500,000 tweets. The number one tweet shared about 27,000 times was by Tyler Oakley, who said, Kim Kardashian earned $17.9 million from her wedding and divorced 72 days later, but gays ruined the sanctity of marriage. In the wake of Halloween yesterday, Facebook data scientist Itamar Rosen reported that over 1.2 billion Halloween photos will be uploaded today. According to the scientist, the day after Halloween is one of the biggest photo sharing days of the year. The term Halloween almost had over 8 million social mentions yesterday. And for those of you ready to jump right into the holiday season, Justin Bieber's album Under the Mistletoe drops today. The video for his first single, Mistletoe, has received over 27 million views in less than 2 weeks. Make sure to head over to our Facebook, Twitter, and blog at whatstrending.com to join the discussion. Right now, let's move on to our real-time conversation. How are you joining us online today? We were just talking about my open. It was 365,000.
365,000. 36.
No, 36. That's 365,000 social mentions, Kim Kardashian. All right. We want to thank our wonderful audience for joining us.
Yay, wonderful audience.
That's kind of a freak. They're on the corner.
And over our couch, it's our awesome What's Trending panel, who seems very good in terms of their analytics today. So you know him from the Totally Rad show,
Google.
Dignation, and guard number one in that amazing Portal No Escape short film. Oh, you like that. It's Alex Albrecht.
Hello, everybody. Guard
He's
number
been
one,
in over
Anonymous.
40 films, including the Scream series, and on dozens of TV shows like The Ghost Whisperer and The Cleveland Show. It's Jamie Kennedy.
Thank you.
Awake on this lovely Halloween morning after
Post-Halloween Eve.
And as usual, the lovely Melissa June Rowley is here to let us know what you are all thinking throughout the show.
Yes, here I am again. Please join me in the chat room. You can join me by tweeting at What's Trending or use the hashtag WTLive.
Very great. So Alex, you just released the Voltron.
Yes.
Short action.
Voltron. Yes.
Action film online. That's pretty exciting for you. What was it like being in the director's chair?
It was fun. It was really fun. I've sort of kind of gotten addicted to it. I just released a short live-action Voltron movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was great. I'd sort of always done the sort of producey, hosty stuff and was into acting and all that stuff. And then I got kind of bored actually sitting and waiting for all the stuff to happen. When you act, you spend a lot of time waiting. And I did a web series called Legend of Neil, and just did a little guest starry thing. And I literally was like sitting in a chair in the woods with a coffee for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And I did the time I was
like,
on
I've been
camera.
there.
You have a trailer?
I didn't know.
No trailer.
My trailer was a
trailer.
folding chair. Welcome to the web. And my buddy Sandeep, who directed it, was like having a blast the whole day. He was like constantly working. And I was like, well, that's what I wanted. I was like, I don't want to do this sitting in the woods thing. I want to do the like walking around doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I shot a short film called Neverland, which we did some festival-y things with, and then did a music video, and then followed up with this Voltron thing. And yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So we're starting to do a couple different things. I have a couple scripted web series in development and stuff like that. So
More directing stuff.
more directing, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
be fun.
now you have a site, haha JK. Very fun stuff. Do you like the adventure of the web?
I think it's amazing. I think that one of the things we should talk about, like today, though, is about the money. That's what I really want to talk about, because I think there's a lot of people on the web getting a lot of views and not getting the money they deserve. And I think that our website has found a way to really tap into that. And I think that it's the Wild West, but it's getting different now. And I don't know if you've read anything about ICANN, but they just deregulated the internet, so there's going to be 500 more words that are going to be available. Do you know about this?
No.
Oh,
Breaking,
yeah.
exclusive.
I'm scared to tell that. Well, there's going to be like .store,
yes,
you
that
know.
is true. I thought you were just saying words.
No.
Like domain names.
So
Yeah.
imagine if the web is real estate. Right now
Yeah.
there's only 12. There's only 12 buildings.
Yeah.
If you think about it like this: .com, .net, .tv, .gov. Now there's going to be 500 more.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how many more there's going to be?
It's gonna be crazy.
yeah.
It's been inundated. I mean, it's great for opportunity.
Yeah.
You also have a new show that you're gonna be launching on your site.
We
Is it
have
gonna be
a-
in the same vein as Jamie Kennedy Experiment?
Yeah, we did a. Here's what we did, and I
Love
think
the
this
Jamie
is.
Kennedy experiment.
Thank
by
you,
the
bro.
way.
Appreciate
Loved
it.
Yeah, I know, it was
Appreciate
freaking awesome.
Bro 5.
Bro, five.
Bro shake, but yeah.
It was basically, Ask.com came to us at haha JK, and
Yeah.
they said, we want you to do like a bit, like in the vein of your old show.
Yeah.
And so we tailored this bit to what they wanted, and then they gave us a certain amount of money, and they asked for 2.5 million views. That was what we guaranteed them, and we delivered 2.6, like 7.3 or something. So we went over. So that was the whole thing. It was like we did that. Now that we're going to each brand, we're going to do more with Ask, and then we're going to different brands. But we just went right directly to the brand as opposed
the way to
to
do it, yeah.
going to people and going, will you please?
No, I mean,
make
you don't
us
have the
stuff?"
middleman anymore. You can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, definitely on top of mind for web addicts and entertainment folk alike is the latest YouTube news.
Yeah.
Yes, Google is investing at least $100 million to create 100 new premium niche YouTube channels that will be rolling out about 25 hours of new programming every single day. This investment is unique due to the involvement of people who were announced Friday night, from Amy Poehler to Jay-Z, and companies from Lionsgate to Wall Street Journal. Some of the new partners are getting a 6 or 7 figure advance and a share of additional ad revenue.
Yeah.
So were you surprised that they did it on a Friday?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I was out for dinner.
Huge news
Like,
cycle Friday
I know.
before Halloween. Everybody's like, did I just hear something about blah? I mean, come on, what are you
They're
doing?
like texting their friends after a few drinks, be like, man,
Happy
congrats,
Halloween, YouTube. It's like,
you're
what?
a YouTube star.
Yeah.
So is this a smart move for Google?
I think it is. I mean, I think more. I think the news story here isn't the Jay-Z's and Madonnas of
Yeah.
the world. The news story are, you know, the Knights of Good, the Felicia's production company that got some stuff, the Nerdist, Hardwick's production company that got some stuff, Tony, the Black
Tony
Box
V,
TV
yeah.
stuff that got some stuff. I mean, that's where I think the real news story is, which isn't Google invests money in celebrities to make more money, which is like, that's the news story every day. It's Google invests money, hard money, in people who started on YouTube, who were able to generate great quality content on YouTube, and now they're putting up money. And you got to throw the celebrities a bone. I mean, they have to pay for their yachts and such.
From the celebrity side,
I
I gotta pay for my Vespa.
That's
I gotta pay for my Vespa. No, it's really interesting what he says. And you know, I was at Warner Brothers 6 years ago. I did a comedy rap album, and his show was one of the first shows I was ever pitched to do on the web. So he knows what he's
Cool.
talking about because he's been around forever. But the other thing is, it's interesting. But what I like to say is like I agree with what he's saying. If they can monetize it and people make money, it's good. But there's like, I mean, I know this Asian kid that has videos, I don't even know his name, like 25, 30, 32 million. He's a huge, and
Freddie
he's,
Wong?
I think it's him, but
Yeah.
he should be having his own channel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People that have communities. We remember that Bieber was only around a year and a half. and he was
So
born,
crazy.
bred, and
Yeah.
raised by this.
Yeah,
So if
totally.
you find people like that, yes, but just if it's just another outlet where you got to pitch YouTube and like hope that they
Let's
like
hope
you.
it doesn't become another Hollywood system.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
the Hollywood system gets annoying because you got to pitch and then.
What do you guys think about competition from cable companies, though? We got a tweet from John Layfield. He tweeted, YouTube announces 100 new channels debuting from Madonna to Wall Street Journal, but cable companies have to hate this. Do you think there's going to be some rivalry there?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I've always been a sort of proponent of the web is a great different medium. You know what I mean? It's a totally different medium. It's not TV. It's not, you know, your 22 minutes and with ad breaks. It's just not how it's going to be. And you know, I think there's a world where both exist and coexist perfectly fine. And to me, I've always said, I believe that what the internet is going to do is make it so that you can avoid that pitch process. Where rather than going, I live in Indiana and I got a great idea for a TV series, and now how do I fly to Hollywood, try to knock on someone's door, and you go,
You could
hey,
do it
it's a
from-
great idea. I'm going to make
Yeah,
it
your whole-
on the web, and then Hollywood is now starting to take notice of those things and go, well, hey, now maybe this is something that we should be looking for. And it's still going to take a while before they get out of that development cycle hell that lives in Hollywood where, you know, you get that idea and then they're like, great, now here's 75 people that are going to tell you why it's wrong.
It should be democratized, like you're talking about. But I mean, like, there's a girl called Jenna Marbles.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. She's.
Jenna Marbles. I mean, some of her videos I love. Some of them are a little long, but she always has at least 9 million views.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And I watched Jenna Marbles, and I was watching it the other night and this was with my girl, and she's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Jenna Marbles time," you know. And it's like Jenna
You make your
Marbles.
girlfriend watch Jenna Marbles.
Yeah, so it's like Jenna Marbles should have her own thing. You know what I mean?
She
People are
already
like
does,
that.
though. You could say she has her own channel.
But is she making cash?
Yeah,
Well, that's the big
thing.
thing.
But how much
But-
cash? Because I can give you the Hollywood rate, and I want to know what people are really making, because they could be getting undercut. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well,
Well,
they're
that's the
making
big-
more with endorsements.
Well, but
and
that's the
everything.
big problem with, I think, with the advertising industry right now is we were so desperate to get ads on the web that what we did was we undervalued our property early to just get money, right? And then what happens is it's going to be a hard pressed sell to go, hey, advertisers, I know you've been buying us at this, but now we want to be what we're actually valued at, and they go, well, why don't I just pay you at
Well,
the
listen, it's a
$4
ball
that I was
But
paying
here's
you?
also what's annoying. YouTube, why did video with commercials on front of the things? It's annoying. It's not TV.
Pre-roll, I know.
Does
Pre-roll.
anyone ever watch them? No. It's like if you want to do ads, do them in a smart way. Like we did, we put ask, we branded it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
put a product in the hand and make a joke about it. It's annoying.
Well, it's all changing right now. And last Friday, Google also announced a new version, actually, of Google TV, including a new version of YouTube that looks more like TV. How
Oh, that's-
convenient.
But they're doing exactly what he said. They're trying to be TV when they should just be the web.
They need to
Bingo.
just own it. Well, the new original content channels will begin launching in the next few weeks. And entertainment content expanding here in the US, but in China, it's a different story. Communist leaders in China are implementing new restrictions on media and internet freedoms. Some examples include ordering 34 major TV stations last week to air no more than 2 90-minute entertainment shows each per week, implementing an internet management system that regulates and punishes those who spread, quote, harmful information on social networks, and requiring all bloggers to register their real names and identification numbers. God, Jamie, what would you do in this type of system?
First of all, I should say when I did the Tonight Show, the sun was never in my eyes. It's a real
Sorry,
welcome to the internet. I mean, you can't really. That's intense, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, isn't Google trying to penetrate the firewall? Isn't that still hard for them to do? So, China's its own rules, so that's a little harsh. But I mean,
Well,
oh,
with
that's
what we've
scary.
seen with social media, with the Arab Spring, and even with Occupy Wall Street, is it possible for the government to really control the internet and how digitally connected we are?
They can do it up to a point, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's so many different ways for people to get information through things like this, and to be honest, it just kind of shows how kind of, you know, old thinky they are. I was actually trying
Old
to look
thinky.
up something
I like
that
that.
was very like eloquent,
Thinky, I like
and I came up with old thinky.
Old thinking.
I was like nihilistic. No, that's not it. I was like,
Well, there's actually
Old thinky, let's
a
go.
Buzz in the Tor project. There are people that create internet-connected devices that worked in
Yeah.
Egypt. The fact is, you can bypass anything these days if you really
yeah.
want to.
People like putting them up in cafes and stuff, just like dropping briefcases and leaving, and they're like open Wi-Fi hotspots to satellite phones.
Yeah.
I made a lot of that up.
Dropping briefcase.
Yeah, I made a
You're
lot of
smart.
that.
You know about the hacking.
There was
out
something
Yeah.
in there. There was something in truth.
Dude, is that a bomb? No, it's just Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's just Wi-Fi. It's a social bomb.
Speaking of social bombs, we have a comment in our chill room. Not necessarily a social bomb, social comment. Bic32 says China does a good job of controlling censoring. I have friends in China that sometimes can get around the censorship, but eventually the government there finds out and blocks them.
Yeah.
So it just seems like it's an
pretty
ongoing
scary
issue for
stuff.
people there.
It's digital whack-a-mole.
Well, should it be a human right, being able to connect to the internet in the way you want to and not get censored online?
I don't know, man.
That's serious.
One of the first sites I ever saw was it some Rotten? Remember Rotten.com?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish I never saw that site.
Yeah.
It was the worst images ever created by man on the web, and I wish I never saw it. So there's stuff on the web that just should not be seen.
Well, definitely, but it's more
So-
censoring people. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
if you want to send goatsy to your friend,
Like,
you
here's-
should be able to do that.
Exactly, but like, if I have a kid someday, you know, I don't want them gone. I mean, kids
more
can
the
see
government
anything
with
now.
information
Yeah.
that is needed to be shown to the public, but gets censored, like whistleblowers and everything like that.
Oh, well, that's not fair, but you know, I mean, you can't control China.
Yeah,
It's true.
you can't
They're like-
control
That
that.
is
Are
serious.
they
You're just
communists?
scared,
Somebody-
Jamie. You're
somebody in
scared.
our
Isn't there a
Facebook
billion
brought up
Chinese?
that
Yeah.
comment.
Well, China's largest
They're
micro
bigger than you.
microblogging site,
than what's China.
Sina Weibo, that has almost 300 million users, was criticized by China's Communist Party for allowing scandals to spread online unchecked. Recently hired 1,000 new staff to monitor messages.
This is really serious. Well, let's go back to the Kardashian wedding. Jesus, this is really.
What's
What
trending? Would
happened?
love to know your unchecked ideas, including your thoughts on the Kardashian wedding, if you want to talk about that. There's lots of ideas on the web out there. So keep letting us know your thoughts in the chat room and by tweeting us throughout the show at What's Trending. Now you'll like this one, Jamie. The latest campaign to adopt the mask of Guy Fawkes as a symbol is Bank Transfer Day, which is a movement that encourages you to take your money out of the big banks and put it in a credit union by November 5th. Founder Kristen Christian told KTLA, quote, "If you don't believe in a company's practices or feel that a company's practices are unethical, then very simply you should not have money with that company." Bank Transfer Day is separate from the Occupy movement and anonymous, but has gained support from both groups. And this morning, Bank of America actually announced they're dropping their plan to charge customers $5 a month to use their debit card. How about that? That's
They're
powerful stuff.
reacting.
You think
That's the
that's
win.
because
Wow.
of social media?
Well, it's because of it's because that if enough people say we're not going to use your product, they go, maybe we should change our product. Because at the end of the
customer
and this is
service
the
and
thing
you're
with I'm totally down with the Occupy whatever place or city
Occupy
that you
Wall
happen to
Street.
be occupying.
Occupy everywhere.
Yeah, it's like Occupy, Toledo. It's like, it's stupid Toledo, Ohio. But I'm totally down for it, but I kind of feel like the better way to get that is to stop going to McDonald's. Like, if you're really mad at McDonald's, don't stand in front of a Capitol building and go, I hate McDonald's. Who got my Egg McMuffin? Because I'm a little verklempt right now. You know what I mean? If everybody who really wants to step up against these corporations stops going to Target if they hate Target, they would change their deal because you have the power as the consumer to guide the corporations, because if you stop buying their stuff, they are not a successful
So instead
corporation.
of just fighting them and hanging out outside of Wall Street day and night, not working
it's awesome.
necessarily,
Yeah, but it's awesome.
you should maybe just stop using all this stuff.
It's a good step. It's like there's a lot of activated people, but if they could just coalesce and go, maybe if all of these people just stopped, pick a target and then, do like what they're doing with Bank Transfer
What
Friday.
do you think, Jamie?
I think that social media is very powerful. I mean, they got Betty White and Justin Bieber on the same Saturday Night Live. That was all just a Facebook
Very
group.
powerful.
So we
Amazing.
should just keep doing this. No, I think it's really true. I mean, it's awesome. And the fact that guy was able to make Bank America do that, that's amazing.
Well,
Do you think that the banks have been unethical up until now? They're starting to take back their $5 fees. We had a Facebook comment from Zane McCarthy. He said that the banks are being unethical, but it's their privilege. Everyone is voting with their dollars. Personally, I've always used credit unions. Why on earth would anyone with a regular checking account use a commercial bank?
I mean, that's a great
I've
example.
been using Citibank for years.
I do too.
But it makes you second guess
I use
it.
Credit union
Wells
or
Fargo
bank?
because it's got that little cool stagecoach vibe, and I'm like, oh man, I mean, you can't get rid of the
But
stagecoach
it does make you
checks.
question these things. I mean, it brings up awareness Like, I think all these things happen. Like, you get rates that are increased all the time. You don't even realize it.
Credit card companies are the ones that I'm always like, I open up that credit card, but I just stopped using credit cards. I know I have the luxury of being able to do that, but I literally just, because I would open up my credit card statement and I was like, 29%?
Yeah, I know.
What did I do to get 29%
Really?
interest? Yeah. And then I was like, forget it, I'm transferring my money, and I just got.
Sometimes
I was
you
like,
don't do anything, but we
You
just
fought
thought
the power.
We thought this story was cool
One
because
guy, but-
of how it mobilized people on Facebook and to create action in real life. So as for the credit unions, they are fully on board with Bank Transfer Day in Pasadena. One credit union is handing out, I transferred my money to Westcom stickers to people mention Bank Transfer
I
Day.
love that.
You can bring about meaningful change in our show. That's important by leaving a
Yes.
comment in the chat room or by heading over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/what's trending. It's that easy, Jamie.
Wow.
I
The only
wish there
thing
was
is-
one credit union that was like, oh, no, don't give us your money. Please, just stick with Bank of America.
The only thing is, B of A is a huge company, and they can protect your money as opposed to Westcom. Like,
All right.
what's something
Westcom's
goes-
a
This
guy-
is an
Where's-
analysis
where's
of banks.
Westcom?
I know,
think we
this
should
is
move on.
horrible.
So now something a little lighter. It's time for like or dislike. This is a fun segment, Jamie, where we go thumbs up or thumbs down on the memes and stories we've all been sharing.
All right.
Yeah. Make sure
Shira,
we know
you've been
what-
saying my name a lot, Jamie.
I know, I don't know
Thank
why.
you, Shira.
Make sure we know what you like and dislike by casting your vote on our Facebook page now. Let's kick things off with the latest photo meme, Tebowing.
Yeah.
It's named after NFL quarterback Tim Tebow and is the act of getting down on one knee and praying, even if everyone else around you is doing something completely different. Tebow himself tweeted that he loves the meme, and on, and on
You don't have to
Sunday,
go to
two
Egypt
Detroit
and
Lions
Tebow.
Tebow during
Tebow.
their game against the Broncos.
Wow.
Alex Tebowing, like or
Amazing.
dislike?
Oh, I love it. It's awesome. Anytime anybody does anything out of context, it's awesome.
T-Bowing. It's
That's
not,
Is it
That's what they call
T-bowing?
it.
Is it
T-bowing.
T-bowing or T-bowing?
it's not
Bowing.
It's like his name,
T-bowing.
Tebow.
T-bowing or T.
Yeah,
there
the thing we
go.
can't say on
There we go. But you know what?
Family show.
That's
Good morning.
It's pretty cool that he started a trend of, maybe Jesus.
That's awesome.
Maybe Jesus' Facebook page goes up. I mean, he really.
Amazing.
No, but he did it on Sunday, and after a guy tackled him, then he did it after he tackled him.
That's
That was me.
real.
I think the dude's cool.
Yeah.
He seems like a good dude.
He's super cool, dude. I love that he's actually now the quarterback.
I
Finally.
know, but people are hating on him because he had one bad
So
game.
you guys like it? You're both
I
into it. You
T-bow.
like
I do
it?
it.
You
I
like
do it.
it?
You're Tebow.
Well,
Now you Tebow here. Can
I'm
you
gonna
Tebow?
T-bow after this whole.
That's
There it is.
there you
That was
go.
Beautifully
epic.
done.
Yeah.
So we
Neck art.
Where's our audience?
That was it.
We've got a comment from our Facebook. And
Tebow
Jeff
you.
Larkin said the
I'm
world
gonna
needs
Tebow
more
you.
brave souls like Tebow. He's a good example for young people. But
He is.
100% of our viewers dislike this meme.
No.
100%.
Yes.
What? How many people
100%.
voted?
It's a meme. How do you
100% of
dislike
your
a
people
meme?
No,
hate
maybe
that
they
he
think
does
it's a
that?
It
mockery
probably
of
hates
prayer.
Why do they hate about it?
We don't get those
we don't
analytics
get
yet.
we don't get that.
We don't
Yeah,
tell
oh,
you
you
the
don't have the
show.
comments? You're not tracking the comments?
The
This is
dude's
why I
Alright,
voted
so-
down.
The
This-
dude's like a righteous individual. You go into topics too quick. Can we keep talking?
This is
I'm being told
rapid
I'm
fire.
here.
This is Crossfire.
What?
This is political
Let me tell
show.
you this. The dude's a righteous dude, right?
Yeah,
I mean, how
totally.
many? He's not like going into his car without his panties. He's not caught with drugs. Why is that bad?
No, I think some people online are just sick of memes. They're like, oh, it's the planking,
that's a
and
totally
then
different
this,
thing.
and then that.
Planking.
Everybody's
I
trying to
didn't
create
even get. I never.
something new.
Planking came so fast and left
And
that
it's
I didn't
gone.
even know it was a meme until
What will our
until
kids
Tebow
think
came in.
about planking?
I don't know.
Right.
It's over. It was good.
Well,
Planking's hard.
I'm going to seg into another story.
Quick.
Is that okay?
Go for it.
This weekend, it will once again be time to fall back as we reach the end of daylight savings time. Originally proposed by Benjamin Franklin, daylight savings time was implemented nationwide during World War I and has been a continuing source of controversy. Daylight savings time.
Dude, I hate it. It's the bane of my
no,
existence.
People actually
daylight
are.
savings
All right,
time.
this is no joke. I know this sounds like a random story,
wrong
but
with-
people online, a lot of people now are debating online on Twitter and Facebook.
Like
and-
there's group. I hate daylight savings
They feel very
time.
strongly
Screw
about it.
Daylight savings.
Save my hour.
Screw you, son.
And they really feel like it's not relevant anymore. It was for farmers back in the day, and like how many
We
farmers
still
are
have
there?
farmers.
How do you think you ate that banana this morning? That was from a
No,
farm.
they feel very strongly. Tiffany Gonzalez tweeted, issues I feel passionate about addressing, and in this order, poverty, racism, daylight savings time.
Yeah, because daylight savings time really is oppressive.
Well,
you know
it's
what I
just
mean?
one-
It's
it's
really
one step
Of
below
all the issues in
racism.
the
I know.
world,
don't
It
you?
gets dark
One
earlier.
step above
One step below
Oxycontin
racism.
addiction.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Really? Are we really having an argument about
I
daylight
would
savings
say
time?
I'm a fan because I like the surprise of waking up late.
I agree with you. Like, if
Actually,
we
the
had-
iPhone has changed my desire to care about this at
Exactly,
all.
it just
My
feels
alarm
like
goes
another
off at the
day.
right time anyway.
Totally.
Here's what's great. If we had daylight savings time last night, after I went to the Maroon 5 Halloween party,
It's
I could have
true.
slept the extra hour instead of getting up at the god-awful hour at 8:30 to come to this web show. So daylight savings time would have been great this morning.
So
I'm
he's
pro.
he's
Now
pro
you're
just
up.
moving it.
Hashtag I want daylight savings
Now
time.
look how much stuff you've accomplished just in the morning, early.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to sleep. Shit.
Finally, you'll like this. You'll be interested in this one.
Yes.
Our favorite early 90s sketch comedy show is making a comeback.
I like
Fox will
it.
be
I like
airing
sketch
2 half-hour
comedy.
specials of In Living Color with an option to pick the show up for a series. It will be a new cast, but the original show helped launch the careers of Damon Wayans, Jamie Foxx, David Alan Grier, and Jim Carrey. So this goes to you, Jamie. Like or dislike this one?
I think it's awesome. I mean, I think Keenan Ivory Wayans is totally like, his writer room is legendary. His
Yeah.
performer room is legendary. Like, not just those guys came out, but like the Wayans brothers and a lot of writers and showrunners. And he's like been a godfather for 25 years. So I
Bringing
think-
it back.
Yeah,
It'll be
Homie the
interesting.
Clown. I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
Like
no,
or
we don't-
dislike, Alex?
Oh, love. This was
Yeah.
I was a huge In Living Color fan. I mean, Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
Can't beat it. You know what I mean?
Vera, the bodybuilder.
I wonder who the
Oh,
next
God.
J-Lo will be. New Fly
Oh,
Girl.
that's right.
Whoa.
I think I could
Are
have
they gonna
something
do
to
Fly
say.
I think you
Girls? or is
got
that-
it.
They have to do
You
Fly
got it.
Girls.
You got
One
it,
of our
Donker
Facebook
Donk?
commenters
Donker
said
Donk.
that unless J-Lo comes back as a Fly Girl, it's a sad thing. He just kind of said meh to the whole In Living Color thing.
I think there's probably a check to be written to get J-Lo to do a little bit of a Fly
Maybe make
Girl
a cameo.
reprisal.
think you
Interestingly,
could.
though,
Oh,
our
what?
audience is heavily disliking this.
What is
I
with
was
your
very
audience?
surprised. I don't know.
They don't like
Positivity.
bowing.
Here's the annoying thing with the internet. Let's just talk this thing.
Let's talk about
The
that.
ability for people to leave a comment. I mean, I do say though, like, I love it when I go on Amazon because if certain has a certain amount of likes and it's
Yeah.
a book I
You
like.
respect that. It
Yeah,
helps
well,
you.
it's your peers, so it is true.
Yeah.
But like, I'll say this before and I said it again. Like, when they go against the humans, I mean, listen, there's the thing called criticism, which is okay,
Yeah.
and then there's just pure hate mongering. And it's like, if you're a toaster and I buy a Sunbeam toaster and it doesn't toast the toast, right? It's like, hey, I have a problem.
Yeah.
Can I send it back to the factory? I don't then tell the toaster that I hate its guts and
You'll
you should
throw it
never be
against the
able to
wall?
toast
Wait, you don't throw it
again
against the
and
wall?
you should lose all toasting capability. And I
Yeah.
think that sometimes people on the internet have a
Yeah.
bad day or diarrhea or hate their mommy and then they keyboard ninja. Can you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's totally true.
And it's
the
annoying.
best thing that ever happened to me was when I first got the job hosting the Screensavers. My first day at the office.
On
I mean,
Tech
I was
TV?
like,
Tech
on Tech
TV?
TV.
Big
I was
show on
like,
Tech.
I didn't wear a
Thanks
tie
for
at all.
letting me know about that.
But I was like, first day in the office. I was like, let's see what's going on. And I looked into my email, and the first email I got was Alex Albrecht should die.
Do not check.
Now here's
That
the
was
thing.
your opener?
It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because instantly I realized this has absolutely nothing to do with me. I've never been on a show. I mean, literally out of nowhere. And it was the best thing for my career because now when people hate on me, it's like I get it. Haters
Wow.
do what they do, and it has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to
That's
me.
the opposite. That's the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Oh,
It's
really?
Like one
Really?
time I did a movie and they're like, not only should Jamie Kennedy not be able to act again, but his mother's uterus should be shut down from having any other kids. And I thought, like, what
Oh
did my
my
mom's
That's horrible.
labia do?
We did this. We did a stop bullying
So I took it
special.
very
Well, we did a
personal.
stop
Oh,
bullying
let's talk
special.
about the bullying.
Yeah, well,
That
we're not
gets
gonna
annoying,
talk,
too.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole
Yeah.
other
Can we
thing.
talk about that's annoying? Didn't everybody, they don't even talk about wedgies. I used to get wedgies like every day. I used to get Fredgies. You know what Fredgies
No,
are?
but it's
That's
not-
a front wedgie.
Hopefully you
and
can't
they
do
would
that
rip it off.
online.
And it,
That is impossible
it
to
would
do online.
bleed. So it's like bullying. We've all been bullied.
We're
Like,
learning so
grow
much
up.
today.
All right,
We've
Jamie,
all been
you've been a
bullied.
pleasure today.
Is it over? Adam Carolla is supposed to be here. Where's he at?
coming.
He
He's
slept in?
We're moving on to Adam soon, but hopefully you'll stay for it. Try not to, scream too much during my interview,
Done.
like, peanut
I
gallery
like
or
to talk
bully me.
long.
I know, you're a
getting
great
into it.
talker.
This is good. This is what was.
So I want to say a big thanks to Jamie Kennedy for all things Jamie Kennedy. He can be found on jamiekennedy.com.
Yeah, but go to my Facebook and
yeah.
like it, or go to HaHaJK. It's better.
HaHaJK.com. Check it out. Laugh a lot. Alex Albrecht at Alex Albrecht. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys. You are
Thank you,
wonderful.
guys.
Yay for us.
Thank you,
You
Sarah.
were. I appreciate it. Please letting us know what you are thinking about, what your comments are. Tweet us at What's Trending using hashtag WTLive. Keep it coming. Now, our Innovator Series is all about the people using emerging technology to change the way we see our world. Today is November 1st, or to many, the 1st of Movember. Every Movember, people across the globe grow mustaches for 30 days to raise money and awareness for men's health, specifically prostate cancer and other cancers that affect men. Last year, nearly 500,000 people participated worldwide and raised $72 million. We caught up with Adam Carolla, the founder of Movember, to find out how he grew it into a worldwide movement.
So Movember is the month formerly known as November, where we challenge men to grow mustaches to help raise awareness and funds for men's health, specifically prostate cancer. Movember started as a joke, just to bring the moustache back. We wondered whatever happened to the moustache and why had it never made a comeback. It created so much conversation and so much controversy. We said, why not put this toward a good cause and raise some awareness? And we were inspired by the women around us and all they're doing for breast cancer. And we thought, well, there's nothing for men's health. And when you think about it and all the wonderful things we do as a community for breast cancer, and then you think about what happens for prostate cancer, there is a massive, massive gap. So our aim with Movember and our hairy ribbons is to close that gap and to get the community talking about prostate cancer and raise funds to fuel much, much needed research. So for the guys out there, it all starts with heading to Movember.com, signing up, and then you create your own donation page. We call it a Mo Space page. Now for the girls, we call them Mo Sisters. They head to Movember.com as well. They sign up as a team captain, and then what they do is recruit all the guys they know to join their team. And our tagline is changing the face of men's health. So we challenge men to change their appearance by growing a moustache, much like doing a run or a walk for charity. By men growing moustaches when they don't normally have one prompts conversation. People ask, hey, what's going on with a moustache? And then that leads into a conversation about Movember and about prostate cancer and the fact that 1 in 6 men will get affected by it. Head to Movember.com, start November 1st clean shaven, then grow a moustache for the 30 days, raise some funds, have some fun, and have some conversations about men's health and prostate cancer.
Welcome to Influencer, our series of conversations with the world's thought leaders, the people creating the trends that we are all talking about. He is one of the most iconic voices in radio and podcasting. Adam Carolla's mix of comedy and brutal honesty has built a loyal fan base that earlier this year helped him take the Guinness World Record for the most downloaded podcast in the world. You know him from Loveline, Crank Yankers, The Man Show, The Car Show, and The Adam Carolla Show and Podcast. It's the ace man himself, Adam Carolla.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's nice to have you here in my studio. I was used to being in your studio.
This is nice.
It is. I miss you.
I miss you.
We had a fun time, a few
You
weeks
know what?
of fun.
I miss us.
I miss us together as a unit.
Just us. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
So, but you're here to announce something big. You're like continuing to evolve the whole online empire you have.
Sure. Well, not big for other people, just big for us.
No, but that's good.
We got an app
Yeah.
coming out. We got a launch of a new website all coming out this Friday. And you guys can go to aceanywhere.com and check the whole thing out. We're running this thing where the more people get, the person that gets the most people signed up or on the app or however it goes, we're going to fly them out. We're going to put them up. They're going to do the podcast, and they're going to have a beer with me. And when I say a beer, I mean multiple beers, because there's no such thing as one.
That's so much fun. And you have such voracious fans. I mean, they do anything for you.
Yes.
I feel.
Yeah.
Is that amazing to see how it's grown? And how do you think that connection has changed from traditional to now new media and digital?
You know, it's this thing where it's sort of like this. I never really broke this down, but in movies you have almost, if you do features, you have almost no connection to your fans. You're playing the part of a gay celloist who's lost his right foot in a landmine.
You love that character, didn't you?
Yes, I do. I do. It was some of Van Damme's greatest work. But if you do features, you're totally disconnected from your. And if you do TV, you're like kind of connected, but they know you as the TV name, not as your real name. And then if you do radio, you're kind of like, all right, there's definitely more of a bond there. And then if you do a podcast, it's like you're literally inside of your fans, and I mean that sexually. You are, it's back and it's forth, and
Yeah.
they know your name and they know what you're thinking and they know what's going on a daily basis. So it's a lot more intimate.
That's amazing because you started the whole podcast thing when you were taking a break from traditional.
Yes.
Is it crazy how this took over? Did you see it getting this big?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a break from traditional is like Richard Nixon saying, I took a break from running the country.
I'm not taking a break. You still do what you love doing. I feel
I
like
was
you.
fired. I was let go.
It's okay. I know how it feels.
We've all been there.
Yes.
It's part of show business. Yeah, I stopped doing terrestrial radio because my gig ended, and then started the podcast and never looked back. And as a matter of fact, terrestrial radio, just regular radio, the gigs are few and far between, and I actually turned down a multi-year, multi-million-dollar
Really?
deal about 6 months ago just to continue focusing on the podcast. So it's been good.
But what is it about podcasting that you love so much that you would turn down a deal like that?
Everyone always wants to talk about the freedom and, no FCC and sort of speak your mind and all that kind of stuff, and drop F-bombs and S-bombs and all the other bombs that we probably can't drop here. And that's great, but it's really about the schedule. Like in terrestrial radio, that is carved in stone. When I did Loveline, it started at 10 p.m. every single night. And when I did mornings, it started at 5:59 every single morning.
Yeah.
And if there was a gig on a Friday and you and I wanted to be there and it started at 8 when I normally do my podcast, I would say, let's do my podcast at 4 in the afternoon. And we'll bank it, and then I'll have time to go home and get ready and go to the gig. So it's just the crazy flexibility of it. If you're going to go out of town for 3 days, you could bank 3 of them, go out of town for 3 days.
I should do that. We do
and
this
then-
live.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't do anything else.
Oh my God, is this live right now?
Yes, it's live.
I am so nervous.
I know,
Oh my
I'm
God,
sure. Do you ever
where's
get
my
nervous?
camera?
No.
Yeah, but only in weird times. Not when I should.
Sometimes it sneaks up on you. Now, but you also now are doing the car show on,
Yes.
on Speed TV.
Yes.
I know you're such a huge fan. Your studio is a garage.
Yes, it is a garage.
So were you must have been so happy for that. I know you were really wanting to join, a show, a car type of show at the time when we were working together.
Oh, was I? Yeah. Oh, well,
This is before this started,
but
and it got
the
announced.
great thing about television now is whatever you're into,
Yeah.
there's a show.
Totally.
So if you're a guy like me who loves vintage car racing or who loves cars and who loves motorsports, then you just get a show where you host a motorsports show and then somebody pays you to go race your vintage car. So whatever you're into, and it could be German stump porn, it doesn't matter, there's a show out there.
What channel is that?
It's deep cable, but it's out there.
And online too, I'm sure.
Yeah, the point is, whatever you're into, like I'm into all this home improvement
Yeah.
stuff, there's 250 home improvement shows out there. By the way, my first pitches, like in the mid-90s, to all the cable
Yeah.
outlets were like, hey man, I should host a home improvement show. And at that time, there were no other there was This Old House.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, beat it. And now there's 275 home improvement
And even more, I'm
shows.
sure they're going to launch online. And speaking of online, we have some user questions.
Sure.
Some fan questions. All right, so we had on Facebook a lot of questions about the Man Show. Like Arnold Valentino, who asked, do you miss the Man Show? Are you sick of that question, by the way?
No, I don't. I don't miss anything, really.
Yeah.
Actually, there's one thing I miss. Taco Bell used to make something called the Bell Beefer.
Yeah.
It was like a hamburger, but it had taco meat in
Uh-huh.
it. Out of sight.
Really?
Out of sight. Yeah.
Good to
So
know.
I missed the Bell Beefer. They stopped it like 20 years ago. But no, I don't miss it, and not because I didn't like it. There's this weird thing where, like, if you like something, you should miss it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure we all liked our 3rd grade teacher or our girlfriend from our junior year of high school or
Yeah.
something, but do you miss it? or was it just a part of your life, you know? I don't want to be staring in the
You're a
rearview
guy, you're
mirror.
a man. You don't like overthink things like women do, maybe.
No, I mean,
oh my God, I
it was
remember.
great. It was me and Jimmy in an office and chicks on trampolines, and we hired all our friends and we'd play softball games, but it was a ton of work because we were doing all of it. And as far as miss it, it was just like a chapter, and then we moved on.
Yeah.
So I look back fondly at it, but I don't miss it. Not like the Bell Beefer.
All right, so Brad.
What a name, the Bell Beefer.
I've never heard that one.
Get rid of the Bell Beefer. You guys
Bring
got to
it back.
Google
You
the
should
Bell
bring
Beefer.
it back. Start a Twitter trend.
Yeah.
All right, Brad Whitmarsh asks, what podcasts other than your own do you listen to? Or do you maybe, I don't know, be honest, you're about brutal honesty.
Yes. I don't listen to anyone's podcast, including my own, but I'm in the garage monkeying with cars. I'm not a computer guy. I do it, except for my wife's podcast, for crying out loud, because she would beat me with a slipper if I didn't say that.
You watch and analyze it.
I just listen and analyze it. But I'm really, it's weird because I am like a guy who plays in the NFL, knows nothing about the game, and doesn't know any stats and doesn't follow any teams. I appreciate what everyone else is doing, and I know those guys, and I know they're funny, and I assume they do good podcasts, and I know they do good podcasts because I've been on everyone else's podcast, and I go on their podcast, and I go, oh, this guy does a great podcast, but that's because I'm sitting
What's the
across
secret
from the
sauce to a
person.
good podcast?
It's really the host. I mean, I hate to say it, and by the way, the Bell Beefer with a little secret sauce on it. I'm really hungry
Bringing
now.
back the Bell Beefer.
No, it's like this. Like for a million years, Dr. Drew
Yeah.
and I, and everyone would always say to me, and it's always sort of insulting, like, what's the key to what you guys do?
Yeah.
Like, what's the twist? What's the hook? What do you guys have? I want to talk about format. What's different about this format? Why is this format so successful? And I'd go, you're looking at him, Dr. Drew and me. We're both really good at what we do. We work off each other really well. We have a lot of reps. We have a good chemistry, and that's why this show's good, because if you get rid of us, then you just have two people answering questions, and that's not going to be good. And many people have tried it.
Yeah.
It's not like we invented anything. The thing about a good podcast is you have to have a good host. You can't have a good podcast without a good host, and if you don't have a compelling host, then you have nothing.
You're not going to build community or anything.
I don't see, Joe Rogan or Chris Hardwick or Mark Maron or any of those guys, or Bill Simmons or any of those guys getting any traction if they suck.
Of course.
Because otherwise, there's nothing.
Well, you rock.
Thank you.
It's so great to see you again.
Good to
I'm
see
going to
you.
stop by. I'm just going to
Please.
come by your studio with the hood and come by and be like, oh, report the news.
Yeah,
when
please.
when you need a break. All right. So check out Adam Carolla's new website at adamcarolla.com and be the first to get his new app by going to aceanywhere.com. Go do it, or else.
Thank you.
And create, what's the beef bell thing?
Bell Beefer.
And go find a bell beefer at a place near you. Thank you. You rock.
I miss those.
Well, if there's one thing Adam Carolla is not short on, it's brains. Sweet, tasty brains. The zombies are coming, and if you're not ready, you will be eaten. So for Halloween weekend, we partnered with our friends at VU.com to ask you, what is your best tip for how to survive the zombie apocalypse? Take a look. Or
If you're going to survive the zombie apocalypse, you need to arm yourself and then brush up on your martial arts skills. Because if you can chop a zombie, they go away.
Siri, how will I survive the zombie apocalypse?
Sorry, I don't understand.
First tip, always have a short-range melee weapon by your side for close encounters. Like this.
Shoot them twice, because one time may not be enough, and you gotta get the brains.
The key to surviving a zombie apocalypse? Hugs. Why do you think they're always walking around with outstretched arms? That doesn't work. Put on your Heelys and get the fuck out of there.
Run.
Second of all, camp out in a poorly populated area. If you're in a highly densely populated city, get out of there. What the hell are you doing there?
Siri, how will I survive a zombie apocalypse?
So there you go, I won't survive because Siri doesn't understand.
Hope you had a very spooky Halloween. Here are the top 5 Halloween costume videos that everyone's been sharing. two girls get carried away by some sketchy looking costumes. Just in case you weren't at a Halloween party, this video shows you exactly what you missed.
Got a new caddy. I'm not talking about you, cigar guy.
This costume proves it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but rather the size of the fight in the dog. Who's driving the tank? For the Win gave us a laugh with their horrible last-minute costume ideas.
Then just make this move.
Finally, if you have two spare iPad 2s lying around that you don't mind getting fake blood all over, this is the costume for you. For more of what we're watching now, head over to our blog on whatstrending.com. That was Music with 1,000 Pairs of Jeans by Andrew Huang. He is one of the most talented songwriters and musicians I know, who may be best known for his Songs to Wear Pants To channel on YouTube. He claims that he can take any word or item and transform it into a catchy tune. For example, in that video we just saw, he made a song using only jeans as instruments. Please welcome my very creative fellow Canadian, Andrew Huang. How are you?
Good, thanks so much for having
Nice to see you. How's it going?
again, too.
And
Really
being
good.
in LA, that's a rarity. You need to go here to go into the mic.
Okay, this love
Oh, you having a
happening?
love on?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
great.
set me up.
They hooked you up. So now you're changing it up a bit. We know you from Songs to Wear Pants To, but now you've announced something new.
Yeah, so Songs to Wear Pants To is still going to be sort of my funny project where
Yeah.
I take song suggestions from people and make little YouTube videos out of them. But I've had a lot of different kind of styles of music that I like to work with, and I need to kind of just contain it all under one name. So I'm just going to use my name, Andrew Huang, and put out the music that way.
And what has YouTube really done for your career? Because you had this as a website at first.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for 7 years, and I just got on YouTube a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
But what's amazing about it is just how easy you can share it, you know, and like social media is just growing.
Yeah.
And so I've just been able to reach so many more people by making videos on a site that everyone's already familiar with, and you know, there's a big community to support it.
And one of my favorites, pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
Yeah. So, and if you get a little bit of viral buzz
Traction,
behind it,
yeah.
then that really helps you.
And
out
so
too.
people give you words or ideas, and you just create a song out of it every single week, practically.
I try to do something once a week. I'm
Yeah.
not on a schedule, I probably should be, but yeah, they could suggest anything they think of, and I'll try the ones that inspire me the most.
And what's the story behind the song Never, which you actually are launching today?
Yeah, so I have a huge music video dropping today that we actually raised money from my fans to make. We got a decent budget to work with, rented
Cool.
a huge high-speed camera to do all the slow motion stuff, but it all stemmed from about 5 years ago. Someone said, write a song about something that you've never done, and I turned it into this ballad about never being able to say goodbye. And yeah, it's a good song, so we wanted to do this video for it, and that's coming out today.
Yay, well, we are so excited to have you here today, and now to perform his remix of the most viral song he has out there, including a bit from Never, live on What's Trending. It's the one and only Andrew Huang.
So the first thing I'm going to do for you is called This Girl. It's from a suggestion that someone sent me. They said, I really like this girl, but I don't know how to express it. If you could write a song about her with her beautiful light blue eyes, long brown hair, and great athletic body, that would be awesome. It goes like this. Let me tell you all the reasons why I like you. You have beautiful light blue eyes, long brown hair, and a great athletic body. I don't even care about your personality. I don't even care about your personality. I don't even care about your personality. I don't even care. Thank you. I'm gonna do Never now. It's a song about something I've never done. Think it's too late for me to say what I want to say. Dream of you every day, but you've gone away. I never got to say goodbye, baby, goodbye. I never got to say goodbye, baby, goodbye. from showing up old and losing the heartache. Consoled with the mandate, let's roll out of the landscape of old, following plans made each every day, becoming clearer in the mirror, river running, washing the caution off, offering hot drinks and lozenges, army still marching forward, offices torn to the ground, number the town, under the brown soil, another one of the towns, come to me now, countries about, nothing allowed, jumping around, something to sound, I'm running for crown, they're gunning me down, I'm in a manic amendment, condemning me, medical minutes, I made it amenity, maybe the man will be mad at me after he's happened, they catches the passion instead of me, better be every enemy's dream friend, never could justify means, ends or means in themselves, words on the sheets and sheets in the shells, she couldn't tell, wouldn't or shouldn't just see for herself and whatever else, I'm under the spell, she casts and catches, actions back, taking me back to feeling the feeling is bringing me into infinity, lacking sleep and starving, tracks a piece of garbage, flats a week dishonest, back a week I've lost it, I'm bragging feats and posits, I can't compete with all this, I haven't been across the scenes I've often dreamed, you call this a part of me, it's not just the start of falling off the wrong side of the sky who held me up for stars and way too long, but after all I want to do is play you songs and just sleep tight. Thanks guys.
Woo, thank you so much. It's great to have you here. He's in Toronto usually, so this is a nice visit. Andrew Huang, the new video dropping today is called Never, and you can find it by heading to songstowearpants2.com. Go there, just do it. And I'd like to thank, of course, Adam Carolla, Jamie Kennedy, Alex Albrecht, and all of you, yes, you, for stopping by today. For more on these stories, along with interactive updates on breaking topics, behind-the-scenes photos, or to comment on what you've seen on the show, be sure to check out our Facebook page. And remember, we are online all the time at whatstrending.com and on Twitter at What's Trending. See you soon. You're like.